What did I like about it?
Yeah.
Sure.
I liked, honestly, a lot of things about this movie.
Me
Nice,
too.
nice.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought the action was really nice. I thought the characters played up pretty well. Music was good. The kids danced, so that always makes me happy.
The kids liked it. Nice.
Yeah, not like I thought it was a decent film.
hmm
I don't think I have too many negatives about it either.
Yeah, I know when I actually ended up watching it twice. I watched it on Thursday night, and then I watched it again on Friday just to see if I kind of, saw anything new or saw anything different. I didn't really see too much different or didn't change my opinion that much more, but I will say I think I ended up liking it a little bit more after watching it the second time. And not that I didn't like it the first time, so I think some of my positives, one of my positives is that I loved that they put the Sentry in this movie. He's kind of been a bit of an underground character. I don't think a lot of people know who he is. He's not one of the big names like, Thor, Iron Man, Hulk, all that kind of thing.
He's like a newer character. I was looking it up. He's
Relatively,
he was first released in like 2010 or 2000 or something like that.
Right.
Like later on enough that he's not one of like the original 60s, 70s, 80s characters.
Yeah. And the funny thing too about his backstory is they kind of said that he was one of those original superheroes from the 60s and 70s, like from back in the day.
Oh.
The weird thing is though, and it's like this fourth wall kind of break, that he was so powerful, and I think he was worried about his own power and about hurting people, that he wiped out everybody's minds, so they forgot about him. And it was so powerful, it wiped out the minds of the Marvel writers and artists. So even that's how powerful the Sentry is. That's the, I don't know if that's supposed to be canon. That's super annoying, but it's funny that they're trying to say like, yeah, he's always been here. He's always been like the most powerful hero, but he just kind of went incognito and he wiped out everybody's mind, including ours, us the writers. I'm like, dude, you guys need to stop. But that sounds like some Stan Lee would be like, yeah, do that. I love it. I love it. So it's interesting that, yeah, you talked about he wasn't one of these originals, but, according to Marvel, maybe he kind of is. But yeah, he is such a phenomenally powerful character, to the point where it's like you can't really make a compelling story with him because his power level is so intense. And when Valentino said, he's stronger than all the Avengers put together, that may not be a lie. That may not be a lie. I remember a comic book issue where he was working with the Thunderbolts doing this thing or whatever, and some of the other heroes were going in to try to stop him or whatever. And I think, I want to say like back in the day, Trent and RJ said it was somebody else, but I remember seeing it where there was another god that was working, with the good guys, Ares, god of war of all things. And he goes at the Sentry trying to fight him. The Sentry grabs him, picks him up, and rips him apart.
Jeez.
Like, there was no, like, let me make a little nick, let me cut into you. He just forcefully just had an arm, had a leg, and just ripped him in half.
Wow.
Guts everywhere.
That's crazy.
That's how powerful it is, that he could do that to a god.
Yeah. Not even like a demigod, like an actual god of war.
Yeah, like the actual god of war just dropped him. I'd be like, I don't know what you want, but you can have it. I'm going home. So, I was looking forward to seeing some of the Sentry in that. And then that void where he turns, where he goes all black at the end of it, too. That's an actual thing, too. So I feel like it's more of a cosmic thing, but I like how they did it in this movie.
They kind of it seemed like they kept it grounded a little bit.
Exactly. It makes it I don't know, it's more palatable. Like, you can accept it more if it is more grounded, if it's just him being crazy, and his crazy kind of comes into play, which it does, especially towards the end of the movie, which I thought was cool too. So any other positives?
My positives were the team chemistry. I did love at the end that Sentry is like this kind of crazy, outlandish character, but he does have like relatable qualities, like the balance between the Sentry and the Void. It's kind of like, I was thinking like manic depressive symbolism and things like that. Like you have like good days and bad days and things, and people can probably relate to that. And then another one that I wrote was the action sequences are very entertaining. Some of them are short, but they're like like they're like necessarily short. You know, they kind of like help keep driving the movie forward. And Florence Pugh, I thought like carried the entire movie.
Right. Yeah, she was the that emotional, that heart
Yeah.
of the movie. Yeah, definitely. So, what else did I like? I mean, I know he's kind of an annoying character, but I do like Red Guardian.
I love Red
Yeah, I
Guardian.
feel like it
Yeah.
sometimes tone it down a little bit, but I mean, his excitement was, you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of contagious. You know what I mean? Is you're seeing how happy and excited he is for
But
something,
I
you
think
get that way too.
when you go from like those really intense moments with him to like the really soft and sweet moments with Yelena, you get that balance there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he does tone it down, and then he kind of picks it back up like a stupid song, or but it's just like to make his daughter smile, just to make her happy, feel better. So I think there was a little bit of good balance with that. I
Yeah.
love the parts when he was out there.
Being crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it too when he's like being obnoxious, but then he's like also he reels it back in very effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like especially when so we're doing this is apparently a spoiler discussion.
Yeah.
We're doing
Spoilers
mad
in
spoilers
3,
here.
2. Yes.
But when Yelena walks like into the void and he like kind of
loses it. Yeah.
I thought it was very, very good. And the reason why I thought that it was very good was because Ray cried a little bit, but our daughter Sophia also
she was
cried.
in tears.
She was like crying.
Oh, really?
So I'm like, if you're
when
like,
she walked into the void, or
Yeah.
like when like Red Guardian was like losing it, and at the very end when Bob is like punching the void and like
Yeah.
getting pulled into the void himself,
And they all go to like
wow.
hug,
and they all go to
hug
like bring him out. She was like crying. She was like literally crying. So I'm like, if
Wow,
you're making like
geez,
a compelling
nice.
enough story for kids to cry about, then I think you're doing something right.
Yeah, wow.
It's probably not hard for kids to be like, oh yeah, cool. It's like flashing and there's
Yeah.
like a big
Right.
action, but it's like
Yeah.
if you're making a kid cry, then it's like
You're
then it
invoking
becomes
an
relatable
emotion.
to
Yeah.
all demographics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I love hearing that she was able to, you know what I mean, appreciate
Yeah.
that
Sure.
situation, what was happening right now. That's what he needed,
Mm-hmm.
and that I guess that's a like I have about this too. Is I think the first time I watched it, I was a little disappointed that there wasn't, I was kind of expecting maybe more of a big fight, kind of sequence towards the end of it, kind of thing. I was hoping we were going to see more of them fighting Sentry. Again, it would have been very one-sided, but I would have liked to have seen them, making the attempt. But I do like that the way to fix this problem wasn't through, like what Yolanda says. So all we do is shoot and punch, or
Yeah.
is that all we do?
Yeah.
So I liked the fact that they wrapped up this story, that they were able to overcome the main conflict just through support, through supporting each other, and the fact that they all went into the void, they all literally,
Sacrificed
they all
themselves,
jumped into, death,
Pretty much
as far as they knew.
Eternal darkness.
Yeah, they all went into it. So I did like that moment where Yelena and Bob are together in the room, and the room's coming coming apart at them, and then all of a sudden, Winter Soldier, U.S. agent come
They
breaking
all bust in.
right?
Yeah.
They're all there. So that's I did like that.